I was going to start spraying my photo etch with primer and getting it ready for the dark gray. Same dark gray as I've got on this photo etch here. And then I remembered when I said a couple of videos ago how I thought possibly there was some grease on my finger here, and that's why this little we have this little boo-boo. And I thought, you know, what would happen if you put photo etch in my ultrasonic cleaner? And I thought, well, why don't I take some of that photo etch that was in Tony's model, the one that he sent me about 6 months ago that I could practice on. Well, I don't recall actually testing photo etch out in ultrasonic. I know that it will dissolve, I guess if you could call it dissolve, it'll eat away at aluminum foil. But what if I was to put a piece of photo etch in the ultrasonic bath, with hot soapy water so it would dissolve grease, just the way I would normally clean these parts, and just see what will happen. Will it damage the metal? And yeah, we'll put one of these pieces of railing in, and we'll give it a good go, and then I can compare with another one under the microscope, and I'll be able to see if it's eating away at it. Yeah. Okay, here's two identical pieces. It's actually 3 sections of railing. They're still fastened together, and you'll notice that the center section is sort of filled in, and the photo etch where it's filled in is much thinner. If there's going to be a problem, I would imagine that's where it's going to eat through. Anyway, they're both identical, and we'll be able to compare. I'll put one in the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll give it a couple of minutes or so, and yeah, and we should be able to see if there's going to be a problem. And if there isn't, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, clean these. Okay, we got a little bit of ordinary dish soap, probably too much. Now, I've also got a microfiber cloth here just in case the front of the lens steams up, so I can clean it off, because what's going to happen now is I'm going to be putting hot water in. I've never done this before, so I don't know how it's going to go. And we'll just put in the minimum amount. And we'll stick in our basket, and we'll drop in our photo etch. You may not get to see a whole lot happen here, and we're going to give it 3 minutes. Now, to my ears, the ultrasonic cleaner doesn't actually sound, particularly loud, but I guess to the camera it does. It just threw the microphones in the camera for a loop, and I had to just turn it right down here. So anyway, we're just going to fast forward through this. Okay. Well, if nothing else, it'll be clean. Except it's going to have a kind of a soapy residue on it, possibly. I'm not going to touch it with my fingers. I'm going to go rinse it off in clean water. We're just on a clean paper towel here, and I'm dabbing it off with a clean piece of bathroom tissue. Now we'll let that dry, then I'll have a nice close look at it. You are actually looking at both rails there. This one here at the top, that's the one that was in the ultrasonic bath. This one here on the bottom is the one that wasn't. And I looked at through the microscope at this one, and well, both of them actually, and I could not see any difference. There might have been some difference, but my untrained eye couldn't see it. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put those pieces of photo etch that we're going to paint into the ultrasonic bath. And I won't give it 3 minutes, I'll just give it 1 minute. 3 minutes was way overdoing it, I didn't need it, but anyway. Yeah, I'm not seeing any difference. You see a difference? I know there is a slight difference in the rails themselves, like the paneling in the center. The one has 3 panels high, and the upper one only has 2 panels high. So there is that difference. But I mean, look at the rail, you know, and I'm not seeing any deterioration on this top one. I gave them 90 seconds in the ultrasonic bath with hot soapy water, and then I rinsed them off with clean water. Now the plan for the photo etch is just to put the primer on until the yellow frog tape doesn't look yellow anymore. At least that's the plan. Okay, that was the plan then. The plan now has changed, and I put some of the smaller pieces that will work really good on my rotator onto blocks. The only thing I'm not going to use on the rotator is these, and of course the photo etch. And I've got an extra patch here that I can transfer these onto, and the reason being is that I'm planning on using the gray primer, and it's going to look a lot like what I'm planning on. Oh, this is the light. I'll be using the dark, and it's going to look a lot like the primer, and it'll be hard to tell where I've got it on too thick and not too thick. So what I'll do is I'll just transfer these onto this one, and that way I'll be able to see a lot better that I'm not putting it on too thick, or if I'm missing. Anyway, a lot of words to say very little again. Yeah, and I got to remember to touch this up. Well, I'll be going around with a little brush and touching up a lot of stuff, I guess. Yeah. Now I don't care if I scratch the bottom of this. I just want to go slow and methodically all the way around. Carefully so that I don't bend it. Seems to be letting go from the frog tape pretty good. that I could probably be a little bit more aggressive here, but Murphy's Law says when Ron gets aggressive, things can go terribly wrong terribly fast. Okay, offhand, I would think I could probably pick it up now with the tweezers. I think it's pretty well about as loose as it's going to get here, almost. Okay, now I'm going to do the other one the same way. Well, I got this one off successfully. And then I took off this ladder successfully. And then I thought, well, I'll take off the little ladder and then I'll slip on the macro lens and just do the center one. And when I was reaching across, I guess I was not being careful, and I was touching this with the sharp knife, and I was scraping off the primer. Okay, I don't think I'm going to bother repriming it. I'm just going to hope that the gray is going to cover it. I suppose I should be using a poking stick for this. Less chance of scratching it, right? Okay, I don't think that's going to blow off. Now about these covers for the lights. According to the manual, they were optional, right? And at first when I read that, I thought it meant you could either put them on or not have them on. And yeah, but now I've had some suggestions that say why not put them both on, but have one cover folded up and the other cover back so that you can see the light. And I think that's the way I'm going to go. And I know that depending on which side of the ship you're on, that's the side you're going to see. However, this is going to be a static display, and it'll probably be a wall-mounted type display, in which case I'll probably be utilizing a mirror in behind, so that you will be able to more or less see the far side of the ship in a reflection. At least that's the plan right now. But you know, that's a long way off. That's for sure. Making the case for this model is a long way off. But one thing's for sure that isn't a long way off, and that's that this video is coming to an end today. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.